Will you please take care of you for me? So the first challenge in life is to take care of yourself. It is to survive. So to produce enough to survive, to take care of yourself. But now what's next? Well, all alone, it's a lonely life. So let's say the man now chooses a partner. Now he must figure out how to produce enough for himself and his spouse, his wife, his partner. Someone says, well, why do that? Why not just take care of yourself? The answer is, it's a very small life. It's a very limited life.
Oh my goodness,
We
hello.
wouldn't call it flourishing. We wouldn't call it
How's it
abundant.
going? A little bit tired,
Just
I
taking care of
guess.
yourself. That is the first
Not
rule,
bad.
but
Are you to
that's
die?
only
What
the
do you
beginning.
think?
So the man gets married. Now he must produce enough for himself and for his wife. And here's the key phrase to make a note of: to live the higher life, the life of togetherness. The storyteller says, it seems even God didn't want to be alone. He created all of these angels.
Welcome to those joining.
So,
Hello, hello.
to join with someone now, you must produce enough for yourself, for your partner. Now, is that it? And the answer is no. About children. Let us have children. That's a unique
Hello.
experience. So now if the man has a wife and now he has children, here's the challenge: to produce enough for himself and his family. Now someone says, well, why take on all of that? Why not just take care of yourself? You could, yes, but you couldn't live this more extraordinary life without taking on the responsibility of having a partner, having some children, and live that kind of extraordinary life. So I think everybody would agree. Now, is that the end of it? No. Here's the more you need for yourself and for your family.
It's supposed to come tomorrow.
Someone says,
I'm
well,
getting a
now why
slightly
start
bigger
being
version,
ridiculous here?
and it should be coming
Better
tomorrow,
internet than
if not the
5G?
next
Then
day.
switch to over. Get Cox Internet for just $40 a month when you add Cox Mobile. It has faster, more reliable speeds than 5G home internet. Switch today.
And I also ordered some other stuff.
Yes, produce enough for yourself. Well,
I've
yeah,
been trying to use my money
produce enough for
responsibly.
yourself and for your spouse. Now, with children, produce enough for your family, but why do more than that? And jot down the answer: to live a more extraordinary life. So now the man produces more than he needs for himself and for his children, so that he can be a person of benevolence, so that he can give, and so that he can share. That's more abundance.
If anybody's
Extraordinary
interested in what I'm listening
life.
to,
To produce more than
it's
you need for
Jim
yourself and
Ron.
for your children.
Focus on yourself, not others. That's what the
Is that
title of it
it?
is.
Let's take it a
If
couple
you're
of more
interested,
steps.
nobody asked, but
How about producing much more than you need for yourself and for your family? Someone says, well, now you're off the scale. I mean, why work that hard? Why go that far? Why produce? Some would say, just take care of yourself. Some would say, just, get a partner and that's it, and then children and that's it. And be a bit benevolent and that's it. But why not go this next step and produce much more than you need for yourself and for your children? And when someone says, why do that, all of us know the answer, right? Why not? If you've got the talent and the skill and the opportunity, why not put all of that together and see if you could produce much more than you need for yourself and for your family? Let's say you earned $10 million this year, and you and your family only need $3 million, which would probably cover most families, right? Some families are more expensive than others, as I discovered. But let's say 3 million would, cover a big, high percentage. So now if you and your family only needed 3 million for the year, now you have 7 million to give. And someone says what? Why do that? And the obvious answer is what? Why not? If you've got the talent and the skill and the time and the opportunity and the occasion and all this stuff comes together, Why not? Let's go one more. How about producing far more than you need for yourself and for your family? And live the far more life. We've heard the story of Andrew Carnegie, right? Andrew Carnegie said this. He built the big steel industry back in the 20s here in America. Here was Andrew Carnegie's goal. I'm going to spend the first half of my life earning money. I'm going to spend the last half of my life giving it all away. Isn't that extraordinary?
It's just me and Amber.
Wouldn't you call that
If
an
you want to hang
extraordinary
out, that's
life?
cool.
The answer is yes. He
If you're
got so
not,
excited
whatever,
by that
it's
goal
okay.
that the first half of
Yeah.
his life, he earned $400 million,
I have to
which back then
continue
was a lot of
my
money.
mouse. Hello.
I mean, now, right, it doesn't seem to be that much, but, you know, maybe back then it would total $40 billion, like Bill Gates. So $40 billion he earned the first half of his life. Guess what he did with the last half of his life? He gave it all away. And the big question is, why do that? And the answer is, why not? If you've got the opportunity to live, design and live an extraordinary life, you know, why not do that? So here's what I want this weekend to be for you. Plenty of ideas to take home, chew on, digest, you know, throw some away, refine some, you know, accept some, do some, whatever. That's what this weekend is really for. To send you home with a whole new library of thoughts to ponder, ideas to try, disciplines to work out, some skills to learn. And if we do that and do it well this weekend, you will say, hey, it was certainly worth the time and the money to go to that weekend Jim Rohn seminar, Jim Rohn and Friends. Now make these notes. What I hope you find here this weekend. Ideas plus inspiration. That's the mixture that really turns things on, you know, sends a entrepreneur program into high gear. Ideas plus inspiration. We need ideas for the goals and plans, and we need inspiration for the emotional vitality to put it to work, to make it grow, make it multiply. And here's what else I hope you'll find here. Guidelines for translating response into results. You've responded to the call, come, search, look, listen, take notes, get it, to take home with you. And I'm sure you're going to respond well to the, you know, seasoned teaching and training that is going to be delivered here this weekend. But here's the key, guidelines for translating response into results. Because results is the name of the game. There's no purpose in learning just for learning's sake. Wisdom and faith, as powerful as those components are, serve no useful purpose unless they are deposited. So make a note of the word, deposited. Wisdom and faith deposited into activity. Wisdom and faith put to work. Now produces a hotel, produces a Salk vaccine, produces a city, produces an institution of learning, produces a career, produces a relationship, right? Ideas and faith, believing that it's possible, that ideas can work miracles, now put to work. So the big job here is getting it all. And so now make the next note. Next is going home and translating it into high
Thank you for tapping the screen. Hello.
good health activity, a better relationship activity, an entrepreneur program activity, a new burst of speed in your sales career, all of that. That's what I'm really interested in. Because here's what's important to me, is for my name once in a while to appear in someone's testimonial. Make that note. It's one of life's greatest experiences. It's when your name appears in somebody's testimonial. Somebody says, here's the person who found me. Here's the person who got me started. Here's the person who wouldn't let me quit. gave me more reasons for staying than for leaving. Here's the person who believed in me until I could believe in myself. And then they mentioned your name. See, you can't buy that with money. And you don't have to give lectures and seminars to do it. You don't have to have an audience like this for the weekend in order to deliver value to someone's life. What if you had breakfast with a friend at Denny's 4 years ago, and you recommended this book that really meant a lot to you, and you said to your friend, "You've got to read this book. I think it'll make a major contribution to your life." And your friend accepted the idea, went and got the book. Now, 4 years later, he's giving his testimonial. His business has flourished. His marriage is safe. Things are going extremely well, and someone says, "Where did this all begin for you?" And he will say, 4 years ago at Denny's coffee shop, I sat with my friend, and he insisted that I read this book. I went and got it. And that book led to the next book, that led to the next class, that led to developing skills I never had before, and that led to some more seminars and lectures. And now look at my business, look at my life, it's flourishing. But it all began 4 years ago, Denny's coffee shop, when someone said, "You've got to read this book." See, that's a person-to-person seminar. And those are just as valuable as person to 1,000, person to 10,000. Right? It doesn't matter the number. If you have a chance to deliver, quote a poem, recommend a book, here's a phrase, like I gave you this one to memorize. I think you'll remember this one maybe for a long, long time. Just something that's really extra meaningful to someone, whether it's at breakfast or wherever it is, whether it's for a child or whether it's for an adult, a friend, a business associate. If you keep up that process, I promise you, your name will continually appear in people's testimonials. And now I've had this happy experience now for the last 40, 45 years. And so that's one of the reasons why I came here this weekend. Right? I don't need the money. I've long ago made my fortune. I take the money, but I don't need the money. But here's what I do need. Continuing testimonials that say, "Mr. Rohn, on a summer day in Anaheim, California at the Marriott, I was there that weekend, and something clicked, and the lights went on, and I got the gift of some good ideas. Here's what's happened to me." Then they mention my name. See, that's what I want. Continuing testimonials that come back to me saying thanks for sharing ideas. Okay. To get the most out of this weekend, jot these notes down now. Number one, be thankful for what you already have. Thanksgiving sets up, the situation where ideas can flow. Here's what locks up the doors of opportunity for good ideas, and that's cynicism. All you have to be is a practiced cynic. Cynical about the government, and cynical about politics, and cynical about the future, cynical about the economy. Cynicism locks all the doors. But if you'll be thankful for what you have, however modest or however much it is, I think that's the beginning of receiving a flow of new ideas. Here's the next one. Be eager to learn. There's already some extraordinary success stories in this room. If we knew how successful, we would give you the podium. I would be happy to take notes. No matter how successful you are, be willing to learn some more. We in the Millionaires Club invite a billionaire once in a while to come talk to us. And he says, "Well, you guys are doing okay, but how about stepping up? Right? How about multiplying by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10? Come on, you've just gotten started." So no matter how well you're doing, we could all use another idea, a couple of other things that linked together with what you already know could give you a whole new burst of productivity and extraordinary lifestyle. Then to get the most out of this session this weekend, you have to do what we call some tough listening. And sometimes it's difficult to gather up everyone's, attention, because our lives really seem to be going on outside this room. You know, a part of our life is going on here while we're here. But you know, some of us, our kids are out there, and our business is out there, and our career is out there, and our job is out there, and everything is out there. So sometimes it's difficult to bring yourself within the, you know, framework, you know, inside these four walls, and just really concentrate.
Lorraine, I haven't seen that name in a while. How are you?
Because I know how meaningful ideas can be. The name Earl Show, you know, still rings in my mind. I'm 25 years old after the Girl Scout story experience. I'm introduced to a man who I had a chance to go to work for.
Cheers.
And over the next 5 years, the ideas he shared with me not only made me rich, but gave me the foundation for a long-term career of sharing ideas, building business, making profits, hopefully wise investments, made an extraordinary contribution to my life. This unique man, he only went to the 9th grade in school. So the things he shared with me over that 5-year period were very simple, very ABC. But that's where I got all of those simple phrases. Let me just review some of them for you very quickly. For things to change for you, you have to change. I kept hoping the government would change and taxes would change and prices would come down and things would get better. And then he said, for things to change for you, Mr. Rohn, you have to change. Wow, what a new revelation. Next, he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. All of this started me on this journey of what I now call personal development. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. It's not less problems that makes you successful, it's more skills that makes you successful. I tried to convince him by showing him my paycheck that I wasn't doing well, and I blamed it on the company. And I said, this is all the company pays. He said, no, that's all the company pays you. I thought, well, that's a new way to look at it. He says, doesn't the company pay some people 3, 4, 5 times this amount? And I said, well, yes. He says, well, then this is not all the company pays. This is all you get until you requalify, accelerate your qualification for the bigger numbers. See, that was all great revelation to me. I tried to convince him that things cost too much. He said, no, you can't afford them. All of these were new ways of looking at things. Unbelievable. And so I started listening to all this stuff. Now, some of the things that really accelerated my learning curve so that I could do better quickly was learning the success equations. Here's 3 of them. The first one comes from the Bible. The question was asked, 2,000 years ago in the Bible, according to the storyteller, what is the key to greatness? What's the key to self-esteem? What is the key to getting honors and trophies to put on the mantle above the fireplace? What is the key to receiving great respect? What is the key to wealth and abundance? What is the key to all of that? An extraordinary life. And here's the answer that was given. Capsule form, according to the storyteller, the answer was, find a way to serve many people.
I wish somebody would get their dogs.
Find a way to serve. Find the ways and means. Start rendering service. The more you serve, the greater your fortune. Service to many leads to greatness.
Can you have a tarot reading? I could pull you some cards. If you'd like a more in-depth focused reading, you're welcome to send in for a reading or a donation, but I can definitely pull you some cards and see what comes through. Do you have anything specific that you want me to focus on, or like what's up? What's up?
Here was one of the best, John Kennedy on his inaugural.
Lorraine.
Here's what he said.
I had a friend named Lorraine once upon a time. She was really cool.
Don't we wish that was the current
I might have not treated her the best, but that's neither here nor there. Lorraine.
Where is he?
Tarot. We're the Hierophant at the top of the deck.
Ask what the country can do.
So, spiritual discipline, spiritual authority, making time to expand the intuition. Ooh, the strength card. Ooh, goodness. 4 major arcana, period.
See, that's the whole turnaround in philosophical thinking.
I mean, without going too deep, without going too in depth, because you did not pay for a reading, it does seem like you are probably in a very powerful energy right now. I feel like you are taking care of your intuition. You are probably, if you're not, then this is a measure for you to actually do that. Like, take time to meditate, take time for, solitude and stillness. If you have been, good. But that's the energy that's present for you right now. It's, expanding your abilities and whatnot. Oh, goodness. But also obviously staying grounded while doing so. Meditation will spark some stuff for you. But yeah, that's what I have for you. If you'd like to pay for a reading, you're welcome to pay for a reading, and I can definitely do a more focused energy. But yeah, that's the surface. So
Johnny gives Pete $2 for mowing the lawn and keeps $1 because he's the one that got the work. Now we have the beginning of an opportunity.
this is not the actual symbol. I looked it up, and it's like a counterfeit symbol. And I was like, this is only a novelty. I have a real one coming tomorrow or maybe the next day. But anyways, but yeah, Lorraine, I hope that helps. I hope that said something useful for you. If you want to check out the link, the description, you're welcome to send in for a reading, and I got you. And I'll do my best to provide clarity and awareness and blah 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 blah. You know?
That's the key to wealth and greatness. And everybody knows this one.
Welcome to the journey.
And when he said it, I wrote it down. And if you haven't ever written it down, write it down. If you help enough people get what they want, everything you want. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. When I heard Zig say that,
Welcome to this joining. How are you feeling?
And maybe you want to do this.
I'm gonna go back to what I was
Underline
doing.
the word everything. That's what was intriguing to me about this sentence. So these are the success equations. This is the wealth formula from the Bible, from John Kennedy, from Zig Ziglar.
1972
Now, make these notes.
is when
In the
he
journey of
released
personal development, one of the first things to
his
learn
album.
is the lesson of the seasons. Let me cover as much of this as I can before we take our first break for the day. The lesson of the seasons. For notes, life and business is like the changing seasons. One of the best ways to illustrate what's happening in your business, what's happening in your life, is this illustration of the changing seasons. Frank Sinatra used to sing, life is like the seasons. Now here's what's next. You cannot change the seasons. One of the things to, come to grips with is what you can change and what you cannot change. You cannot change the seasons, but here's the next phrase, but you can change yourself. Therein lies the chance to live an extraordinary life. Learning to change yourself. In an economic sense, my mentor put it this way. To climb the ladder of success as high as you wish to climb, here's the key. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. He said if you work hard on your job, you can make a living, which is fine. But if you work hard on yourself, you could make a fortune, which is super fine. Then let's put it in philosophical language. Two things on economics, philosophically. Here's the first one I learned. Your income is primarily determined by your philosophy. I didn't learn that until I was 25 years old. They never taught it in high school. I went to college one year, never heard it. Your income is primarily determined by your philosophy, not the economy. Then when I finally understood that, I got excited about it because I knew I couldn't change the economy.
Prison inmate
But I was
overdoses on
assured
K2.
that I
Don't do
certainly
drugs,
could change
kids.
my philosophy.
Don't you ever.
And I did that. And here's the
If
philosophy.
you do, make sure you drink lots of water and take
Success
care of
is
yourself,
something you
but don't do
attract
drugs as the base
by
says.
becoming an
Okay?
attractive person. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract.
Excuse me.
So the key to the better economic future is to become an attractive person with an attractive personality, an attractive list of skills, your knowledge of the marketplace, your ability to deal with a variety of personalities, all of those things that anyone can learn with a bit of study, practice, repetition. So the key is, you cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. But let's talk about the seasons. Just in a brief outline here. Number one is the winter time. I don't know where we've caught you this weekend. Maybe it's spring for you, maybe it's summer, you're toughing it out, maybe it's harvest, you're cashing it in. If we knew the story, we'd let you lecture. But maybe it's one of those winter times. Personal winters, social winters, economic winters. There's a variety. So what about the winter? Make this note, it always comes. So you got to be prepared. Hopefully you've done your homework. You're ready and prepared for this winter more than you were some others that have come into your life where you were less prepared. Make this note of the Bible story. It's very important because it's one of the great lessons of life. I'm an amateur on the Bible, but here's what the storyteller says. There were two nice people. So make the note now, two nice people, not one good and one evil, but two nice people. However, and that is the drama of life. However, two nice people. However, one built his house on the rock, and the other built his house on the sand. Two nice people. Meaning it's possible for nice people to be casual. It's possible for nice people to be careless. And sometimes you can be careless and lose your life. Not evil, just careless. In Los Angeles now, when the light turns green, if you're in your car and you're there at the intersection and the light turns green, you better not go. For 2 or 3 seconds, waiting for the maniacs that are running the red light, crossing in front of you, even though the light is green. That little extra bit of caution, rather than being aggressive, little bit of caution could very well save your life. Here's a father who loves his family. He's an honorable citizen. He makes good money. He contributes to the community, his church. He's a good man. But this morning he's in a hurry in Los Angeles, late for an appointment, and he's pushing it with his automobile. He comes to the intersection and the light turns red, and a little voice in his head says, "Go ahead, you're late. You can make it." And now he's dead. You don't have to go to Iraq to lose your life. You don't have to be evil to lose your life. All you have to be is a little careless at an unfortunate moment. So the key is to be not overcautious, but to be cautious. Don't build your house on the sand. Now add this note now, we're all tempted. When I was growing up, there was a cartoon of a little boy, and it showed this little boy with a little devil on one shoulder and a little angel on the other shoulder, both whispering in his ear. And the little devil said, "Go ahead and do it, it'll be okay." And the little angel says, "No, no, 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 it won't be okay. Yes, go ahead and do it. No, no, no. How often does that occur for all of us? Every day. Go through the red light, it'll be okay. We must beware, okay? Not to be careless, not to be casual, and build your house on the sand. The same is true with your health. Don't build on the sand. The same is true with your career. Don't build on the sand. The same is true of being in business. Don't build on the sand. Build on the rock. Because even nice people can make careless decisions, casual decisions that accumulate over a period of time. And those could be the winter. Now, here's the note to make. Some winters are of your own making, and some are not. Some are just the winter experiences. Maybe the whole country goes through it. It was a long time of winter for the Russians who lived through the communist system for about 80 years. Long winter of political despair, lack of freedom. But what's the key to the winter? Here it is in simple language. Hang in there. I mean, you know, winters don't last forever. Some are difficult and some are easy, but they never last forever. The night always comes after the day, but it doesn't last forever, just a few more hours. And if you hang in there, say your prayers, gather a little strength, you can make it through the winter and the night. So winter time. Here's the next season now, the season of spring. Make this note, my definition of spring, opportunity. Spring is not a guarantee that you're going to have a harvest, but it's an opportunity to plant one. It's not a guarantee that things are going to go well and you will accumulate what you need, but it is an opportunity to do so. Springtime is opportunity. Now, it's usually a very short season, especially where I was raised in farm country, Idaho. So here's what you must do with opportunity. Seize it quickly. Don't let it just come and go. When the window of opportunity is open, to borrow a little space language. When you get ready to shoot the rockets or off into outer space, there's a window, we call it, of opportunity to go, not go, when the weather's right, whatever. But if you wait a little too long, the window closes, and it takes a while for it to open back up. So this is the key. Take advantage of the spring, such a short season. In some places, they got those big tractors with the lights on them going around the clock in the short season of spring to make sure that the seeds are planted. Take advantage of opportunity. Take advantage of opportunity to meet someone who could be a colleague for your future career. Take advantage of the day when it arrives, because the day will soon finish. Take advantage of the year, because it will soon close. Take advantage. Now here's the next season. One of the greatest illustrations of life is in the third season, called the season of summer.
What's up? What's your profile picture?
And here it is in simple
the cartoon.
In the summer, you must do two major things. Here they are for your notes. Number one, nourish and give life like a mother.
You make my inner child want to come out.
And give life
I don't know
like
who you are,
mother.
but...
Next, protect and defend like a father. This is called the work of summer.
Hello, welcome to this joining. How we doing?
Give life like a mother. Take life like a father.
Just it's over doesn't mean it's real.
Love like a mother.
Get over me.
Hate like a father.
Sorry, I'm like working on something and I'm like listening
Any
to
father
a
would
song.
say to whatever threatens his family, take 2 more steps toward this family, you'll cease to exist. I'm father. I protect, I kill if necessary. So you've got to nourish your garden, and then you've got to protect it by fighting the weeds and the bugs that are out to destroy it. As soon as
You changed your username. You changed your username a lot. I like it. What do you want to tell me your actual name or like
They will
so then you don't have to like, tell
unless
me.
you are extremely
I mean, it's
father-like
okay if you want to
and
remind me
vigorous.
that you're living life and loving life. That's cool, but
You have to
like,
develop a hatred for evil.
I don't know. Anyways, welcome to those
The old
joining.
prophet said,
How we doing?
love
I got
good
a
and
little
hate
thingy.
evil, because those twin
Are
forces
you
are
ready?
at work always.
Are you ready?
Even in the beginning of the beginning, Lucifer, according to the storyteller, tried to take over God's throne, didn't succeed. So began the
Asked
story
you already.
of the creator and the spoiler.
After tomorrow, I'll have a bigger one,
And so
slightly
exists
bigger
for all
one
of
that's
us
like
this
much more
great
resonant.
drama
I'm
of the
excited.
ability to create, but the destroyer not too far away. In another seminar I give, here's what I say, and this is good philosophy. It seems like opposites are in conflict and we are in the middle. Evil on one side, good on the other side. Illness on one side, good health on the other side. Darkness on one side, light on the other side. And they're in conflict. If you walk into a room that's dark and turn on the light, the darkness disappears and goes away. How far away does it go? Not very far. Waiting for a chance, what? Come back in. Move in, take over the territory. As light begins to lose its energy, darkness moves in. There's a war on it. Here's what it's called. Push up. As we sit here, right? Good health plan. Trying to defeat illness and drive it into a small corner. If you don't work on your good health plan, illness will drive your health into a small corner. It's called push and shove.
Tonight I'm getting some.
In your bloodstream, there are red corpuscles to nourish like a mother, and white corpuscles to fight and kill like a father. Thank God for white corpuscles to think people. White corpuscles say, just show me some infection, I'll kill it. Because if I don't kill it, what? It kills you. White corpuscles say, it's my job today to make sure you don't get killed. So I'm here to fight. Have you got that now? Red to nourish, white to fight. So here's the key now. Cooperate with the positive side of this war of health and illness. What a struggle. The body calls for a banana, and you send it a Coca-Cola. And now the body has the right to say what? Whose side are you on?
Love hungover. And it's 3:30, and I got angel wings, but a devil's grin, and only one can win. Cry about it later. Cry about it later. Tonight I'm having fun. Tonight I'm getting some. Tonight I'm getting something brand new. Something like that. I don't know. Hello. Welcome. What are you guys doing? Why are you staring at me? Tonight I'm getting some. Tonight, so tonight I'm getting something brand new. I can't do music in my ears, but there's music in my ears. I'm doing a project. I'm doing reviews, and I'm doing one for Katy Perry's Smile, which I think is highly overlooked. Like, obviously the numbers and metrics are there, but it's like, like, I think it was a really I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. Like, there's an advertisement playing, and Sabrina Carpenter is playing on the ad, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's wild. It's not that wild, but.
Gildan Media proudly presents Gildan Seminars, original lectures containing essential information that can be applied to every facet of life and business.
The Science of Money, How to Create Wealth and Generate Income by Brian Tracy with Dan Strutzel. The subject of money remains one of the most fascinating, thought-provoking, emotional, polarizing, and well-researched subjects in the world. Scores of books, articles, blog posts, and speeches have been written on what money is, how to earn it, how to spend it, who has it and who does not, and a myriad of other topics related to the effects that it produces. And yet,
Hello,
despite
nobody's
the
here, it's just
constant
me,
focus
but
and interest on
welcome.
the topic of money, there is one word that describes the average person's views around money: confusion. It seems that, despite some of the truly great research that has been published on the topic, there is so much disinformation, what we might call financial white noise about money, that most people either rely on chance for their fortune or they ignore the subject altogether. This is not only unnecessary, it is a tragedy. It's a tragedy because of the untapped
You
human
can't hear the music
potential that
that's in
is
my
never
ears, but
uncovered
there was
when
music in
people
my
leave
ears.
their lives to chance, or worse, give up on their dreams. It's also totally unnecessary because the topic of money, how to create it, how to invest it, and how to spend it wisely, is known. Truly, there is a science of money, just as there is a science of nutrition, human anatomy, astronomy, chemistry, and engineering. And true to form, this science of money has been tested and proven again and again, not just for years or for decades, but for millennia. And while new theories of money can arise all the time, just as we have new theories for cures for cancer or baldness, for example, the discipline of science and its rules for testing and verifying results will, in short order, move these ideas from the realm of theory to one of two categories. One, a verifiable fact, what Brian calls a law. Or two, a disproven idea, what Brian calls a myth. In this program, we will be examining both of these categories: the laws of money that have been proven and can be relied upon, as much as you can rely upon the sun rising in the east and setting in the west, and the myths of money. Those ideas, some of which may be still around, just as rumor or innuendo can exist without any basis. Those ideas which claim to be true, but which have been tested and disproven, or which at best have never been decidedly proven. Ultimately, this program has one central goal: to end all of the confusion around the topic of money once and for all, and to present in one comprehensive program the essential truths about money. If you simply study the ideas in this program and apply them to your life and your business, you will become financially successful, as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow. Welcome to the Science of Money, How to Create Wealth and Generate Income. Session 1. What is money? In any scientific discipline, we need to define terms in order to be certain that we agree on the topic we are studying, and the ground rules for testing any theory about the topic. In this session, Brian will help to define the terms surrounding money, and some of his responses may surprise you. Brian, let's open the program by describing what we mean by the science of money, and how money, like any other topic or discipline, has been studied and has produced many solid and reliable laws on how it can be earned or created, and how this flies in the face of many of the mystical and/or speculative theories out there about how to acquire money.
Well, if you want to get right down to the nitty-gritty, you start with the first law, which is called the law of exchange. And what it says is that money is the medium through which people exchange their goods and services, their labor, in the production of goods and services for the goods and services of others. This goes right back to 100,000 years ago, where someone would make a flint and an arrowhead and exchange it for a flint spearhead. Or would make a pot and exchange it for a carpet, or would make a skin for the head.
Okay, I'm gonna get off
exchange
here.
it for skins for
Have a
the
nice
feet.
one.
It's a medium of exchange between labor. Now, in my work on the